Yeah.
So good. It's a beautiful day, sun shining outside. Redbelly Network is integrated in SODAX, and snakes all over the world are celebrating. Fez, all the way in the motherland, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, David.
That's very nice to hear. I wanted to talk about Redbelly Network, just integrated into the SODAX system, an Australian network. And I
Mm.
thought, who better but Fez to tell me a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, yeah. Look, I will give a quick rundown. The Redbelly team may think I butchered it, but so Redbelly is a KYC only chains. They launched, and that was what they wanted to do. They actually had a lot of backing from, in Australia. There's like this blockchain Australia, and just generally government departments that are working to foster innovation, etc. So part of their thesis was like, yeah, how do we build it so that we can enable companies across the world, but also in Australia, to come on chain and feel secure, etc., and the user base also feels secure. So in collaboration with all of that and ensuring they're very compliant, they built this chain, which is a KYC only chain, where businesses, they KYB, they built a process to streamline that KYC. So once they're KYC once, that's all the business has to do, and then they can operate on the chain
Hmm.
and build infrastructure on chain very transparently, right? So this is kind of the thesis, and they did it. They launched their chain. They got like a huge user base. I think like over 300,000 people who bought in on the ICO token, all KYC compliant. So they have quite a lot of builders building, and they have a big user base who are KYC'd, ready to do things on Redbelly. And they're at the phase where they are now growing, right? They, as we've learned, chains need to be connected to grow. You can't, your chain isolated will never just, it won't
Yeah.
go anywhere. So they're at that stage. They've gotten a layer zero integration. They're working with us for unique opportunities so that they can expand their reach. And what do they have to offer as well? Well, they've got a 300 plus thousand KYC user base
Mm.
who's sitting there waiting to utilize new tech that comes on their chain, or they get connected to, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Because the use case for people or apps who are powered by SODAX, now that Redbelly Network has been integrated, would be okay. Now I can get my hands on assets that are on Redbelly Network, um, whichever ones are integrated into the SODAX system. I'd have to say, but the other way around, um, it might be better news for projects and apps who are already building on Redbelly and have, bought into that KYC first value proposition, and now find that, I guess, the SODAX system showing up is going to bring them some extra value. Can you
Mm.
talk to that?
Yeah, yeah. So, part of our deployment here is, from an infrastructure state, is SODAX is KYB, etc. So we can actually deploy connector relays, contracts, etc. So partners can utilize, but for example, partner like Hana or Balance would need to go through their own KYB process, right? Because they're a separate entity. They can use our infrastructure, which is great. But on the flip side, then you have all these existing KYB companies and stuff who are building all kinds of different protocols on Redbelly. I know it was very like months ago, before the rally of metals, etc. Like that was a very dominant space on Redbelly, right? We had all these companies. When I was talking to a few of the people in the Redbelly team, that's what they told me. Like, we have rare metals, etc., being bought on chain that people can buy, etc. And then this huge rally happened with rare metals, which is super interesting. But they're people building protocols like investment funds, because they're KYC for Europe, etc. There's all these companies building, and something they realize is, hey, this is great. Like, we got gold, we got this, we got that, but a lot of people on chain want crypto. right? They want Bitcoin, they want ETH, they want, oh my God, Sol's mooning. Oh, there's all these tokens, hype. Like, how do we get the people what they want? And then on the flip side, like, how do you get that? And if you want to keep it in your ecosystem, like keep it there on your chain where you keep your KYC user base, how do we do it? And that's kind of a solution we can offer, right? So, and this is what the sodaVariants comes in, where, hey, because now you've got SODAX infrastructure on your chain, any token we support, potentially we can give to you on your chain. And in this example, I mean any token we support on the money market or is connected and is connected to our solver. So we call them sodaVariants. So for example, on Redbelly, the native tokens Redbelly, we can issue, SUI, ETH, BTC, AVAX, BNB, all these tokens, because that's what we support. We can issue them on Redbelly. But the real unlock is they're liquidity backed, right? So
yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Sorry, I was going to say, like, what's new about issuing, Solana or SUI or Ethereum on another network? I've seen wrapped tokens pop up in 2020, 2021.
Oh yeah, that's old news. Yeah, exactly. You're right. And this is the thing. It's like one thing, you bring the token on, I have all these tokens, but the second thing is like, oh, this is great, but where's the liquidity? So now you've got this chain and these protocols that go, okay, now to get liquidity for this, we have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars in liquidity drives. That, remember, these liquidity drives only last 1 year of liquidity incentives. And then what? And there's always, and then what? Oh, we'll deal with it when it comes to it. And then when it comes, you lose that liquidity and there's all these ramifications. So this is why I bring it back and go, we give you these tokens and they are liquidity backed. And what that means is you don't need liquidity for ETH, SOL, SUI, BNB on your chain. You have these tokens and our solver brings it to you. So you just integrate like our solver into your protocol. It can be a swap component, whatever it may be. Existing dexes, you can literally in the existing dexes integrate our solver, and then you pick these assets like BNB, SUI, etc., and it'll automatically route the liquidity from the destination chain. So, so what happens is, a good example, Solana on Redbelly. Okay, so you've got a Solana version, it's a wrapped version of Solana on Redbelly. A user has the Redbelly token, goes, hey, I want to buy some Solana. They use our infra, the solver, go swap, pick Solana on Redbelly. In the background, we're using the liquidity on Radium, and all the AMMs were connected to on Solana, which has $20-30 million in Solana liquidity. So they're not suffering from slippage or anything. The swaps get, the user goes, yeah, I want 10,000. Let's say he's a nice whale, or she swaps $10,000 worth of Redbelly into, or USDC. Let's or USDT. Let's not Redbelly its token. Let's not annoy that, upset that fan base. They actually take the stables and go, yep, I want to swap USDT into Sol on Redbelly. I don't want any cross-chain. I don't want to deliver it on Solana. I just want to keep it on Redbelly. I feel safe. Solver goes, looks at the liquidity, facilitates the swap, delivers the Solana token to the user. The protocol hasn't had to source liquidity. The user hasn't had to worry about slippage or anything because it's benefiting from all the liquidity that's already on Solana. And that's what is what we're calling liquidity-backed tokens, right? Like,
yeah. So when sodaVariants pop up on your network as an app, you can build a new use case with assets like Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin's coming, without having to worry about sourcing the liquidity that you might need to enable your use case, or building more infrastructure that you might need for giving your use case to the end user. If you're an app on Redbelly right now offering exposure to rare metals, next week you could be offering exposure to rare metals and blue chip crypto assets thanks to sodaVariants. Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Exactly. And I think that's a very, I guess, important thing to understand for builders on networks. Is Redbelly the only network with sodaVariants?
No, actually, the first one to implement it is Lightlink. and you can actually see it in action on the swap, SODAX swap, if you pick Lightlink. So essentially, even their money market, so that they've kind of got that where they've taken the variance. So if you go on Lightlink, you can kind of supply the entire arsenal of tokens under the one wallet and leverage like from its loans, etc. So you can basically supply BTC, ETH, SUI, AVAX, all these tokens, and take out a loan and know that your loan is actually backed by the bigger assets, so you don't, if there's market fluctuations, as we know, also getting destroyed, also go down 20%, BTC and ETH go down 5%, so you've kind of got that backing, and there's unique use cases that it enables from implementations like that. And yes, Lightlink are the first people chain to do it. They've got a very specific use case that they're going for, and this really benefits them, which has been great.
Yeah. And I guess we'll see what use cases pop up moving forward as teams and builders better understand how much the SODAX system enables once it shows up on your network. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of liquidity routing that just gets taken care of and made so easily accessible through the SDK. So I would encourage anyone either on Redbelly or any other SODAX connected network to actually go and check that out on either sodax.com or docs.sodax.com. Tap into the SODAX MCP server, check it out, get the SODAX skills set up in your IDE and have a play because it just works and it's brilliant. So I guess that kind of covers a little bit of a
I did want to call out one thing, because another thing that I've noticed in this space, it's very, hey, use our standard, hey, use this, and then you're kind of locked in. If you want these perks, you kind of have to go with this stack. And this is something like we're trying to move away from or not push on. So like I'll use Redbelly as an example, right? Like or even Lightlink, they all have layer 0 integrations, and that's great. Like layer 0 is clearly won that adoption, right? They've been around, no issues, great security. The biggest players are adopting their standard to mint and burn, and we're all for it. And like if that's what partners and teams want, we'll just use that token standard. So like we're not limited. The sodaVariants, the concept that we've painted, we can offer, but we can offer in the tech. Say the chains are all in on layer 0. Well, we can offer the same services through that standard, through the layer 0 system. That's basically it. That's kind of all my call out. So we work with the teams closely.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is that SODAX doesn't necessarily bring the bridging to your network. That's not. We can, but we don't have to. We bring liquidity and I guess cross-network reasoning across liquidity to your network. And if it means that you already have a layer 0 integration, then we just say, that's great, let's use that.
Yeah.
But we still need to, provide the access to this liquidity across all these networks.
Exactly. We our whole integration is packaged the way it happens, but you're not forced. It's like it's not us or them. It is, hey, what do you want? You're happy with them? Great, let's use it. Once the integration's done, we'll map. Overall, that's kind of my point here, right? Like because that's how it was in the old days. It was like, hey, you use this standard, you use that, because they're not intercompatible. Is the point. Like, in the old days when you had layer 0 and Axelar, there were two very different standards. You couldn't take from one and go to the other, right? You'd have to do the entire take from one, go back, and then do it through the other. So this is kind of where we step in and kind of, hey, what do you want? This is what we've got integrated, and we'll use the tools that you feel more comfortable with. Yeah,
that's a good call out. Do you have any other hidden call outs?
No, that's it, David. I think, that's it.
Well said. Thanks for hopping on real quick to clarify that with me and talk through it. We'll see each other soon again. And for now, that's all. Thanks for listening. Bye.